Hey everyone, today we're taking a look at a pair of Williams tables on Pinball FX from Zen Studios. Now these tables were provided to us for the purpose of this review. Specifically, the two tables we're going to be taking a look at are centered around Elvira. The first one is Elvira and the Party Monsters. Second one is Scared Stiff. So starting with Elvira and the Party Monsters. This is just like all other Williams tables, basically a fantastical recreation of the original Williams tables with just basically added some animations and some additional graphics and character to it. The table centers around you basically bringing various classic monsters to a party with Elvira. Now, I've played neither of these tables in person, but having played them on Pinball FX, they were definitely a lot better than some of the other Williams pinball tables. This one in particular, though, of the two, was my least favorite. Just generally, I had a lot of trouble hitting some of the ramps, as well as a lot less ball control. A lot of times, the balls would just sink down the center, and I couldn't do anything other than maybe hoping if I hit the table, it would adjust its trajectory a little bit. But I never think to do that as the ball's coming down until after it's already too late. And so with this one, I had a lot of difficulties. As one of my daughters would say, it would be a skill issue. But it definitely is not a bad table. Both tables run about $10 USD, and this one by itself, I didn't think was worth the full price, but if you are a collector, it's also not a terrible price either. Now, for the final table, Scared Stiff, again, is another Elvira-centric table, but this one is more of the kind of B-movie horror genre, similar to a lot of what her films were, or specials were. Now, I've never seen anything with Elvira in it as far as any of her main titles, but I do remember her doing cameos in some other things. She was one of those just staples from the 80s that pretty much, every guy I knew had a huge crush on her, myself included, and I think that gave way to, some of our other preferences growing up. Makes Angelica Houston and Addams Family make a lot more sense in the stages of my life. And so with this table, with it being more centered around the horror, I had a lot of fun with this one, trying to figure out what all of the different missions were, how to trigger all of them. I know that every table does come with a table guide, but I try to avoid viewing those just because I do feel it kind of takes some of the fun and the mystery out of it. And with most pinball tables, I'd rather enjoy the experience as much as possible and discover things along the way. But there are a couple that I'd rather just get the main challenge that wasn't points related out of the way, so that way I could just worry about points and just enjoy the experience overall. This wasn't one of them. This one I had a lot of fun trying to discover the missions, playing. Yeah, some of them still went down the center lane, but I do like when you lose the ball, you get these bubbles floating up. I thought that was a really cool feature. Overall, this was a great table, well worth the $10 price tag. I had a ton of fun with this one. I've probably played it about 10 times since recording this video, or rather the footage for this video, and That's actually says a lot about the Williams tables. For me, I prefer more of the Zen originals and the other Pinball FX special tables that were not released in physical table form, even though I wish some of them would and still work the way that they do. Overall, I would say that these are both a solid release from Zen Studios. Again, if you are picking just one table, I definitely recommend Scared Stiff. Far superior in every way, in my opinion, both look, aesthetic, gameplay, ramp placement, all of that is just the far superior of the two. So definitely worth picking up and playing. A lot better than some of the other options as far as the Williams pinball tables are concerned, but not nearly as good as any of the actual Pinball FX brand tables. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching.